In 2022, I dropped out of college after studying visual arts for 3 years without having a plan. I had no savings, no audience, no online connections. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. And still, 5 months later, I was making more than $1,000 a month working online. Not because I was a genius, not because I had magical luck, but because of something much simpler. I decided to start moving even when I had no idea where I was going. And this is the story. From a very young age, I wanted to travel, I wanted freedom, I wanted to retire young. The idea of working for 30 years, slowly climbing a company ladder, waiting all year for 1 week of vacation, just didn't feel right to me. And still, I ended up studying visual arts. Why? Because honestly, how many people really choose the right career at 16 years old? After 3 years, I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't building the life I wanted. I love art, yes, but I didn't want to work in that world. So I made a decision that at the time felt huge. I dropped out of college. And here's the part nobody tells you. When you make a big decision, a magical plan doesn't appear. What appeared is just silence. During the first month, I didn't work, I didn't start a business, I didn't have really an idea. I just learned. I read books from people who had built different kind of lives. I listened TED Talks, I watched interviews. I was trying to understand how other people have achieved something similar to what I wanted. I didn't have answers, but I was searching. 1 month later, with support from my family, I did something that would change everything. I traveled to the southern United States, to a very unique city, New Orleans. I didn't go there to find a job, I didn't go to start a business, I didn't go with a financial plan. I wanted to meet people, talk to strangers, see different ways of living. And something interesting started to happen. I began noticing the mindset of people there. People talk about projects, about businesses, about ideas, about opportunities. I visited museums, ironically, something I never did when I was studying art. I spoke with founders of small businesses, I asked how they started, what mistakes they made. I didn't copy everything, I just took what resonated with me. 3 months later, when my return flight was getting close, something happened that I never could have planned. A relative who lived in the city called me. He said, "I want to talk to you." I thought it would be a normal conversation. But when we sat down, he told me something that would completely change my path. He was starting a company, and he wanted me to work remotely for him. Without me looking for it, without applying, without sending resumes, simply because I was there, because I had gone out into the world, because I had moved. Of course, I accepted. 1 week later, I was back home in another country working for an American company. And then something happened that I will never forget. My first payment arrived. Money I had earned working from my computer, from my room. 5 months after dropping out of college, I was making more than $1,000 a month. Did I know that would happen when I left college? Not at all. Was it luck? Well, yes, but a very specific kind of luck. Because there is something I understood after living that experience. Luck doesn't knock on your door when you stay still. It doesn't appear when you're waiting for the perfect moment, or the perfect plan, or until you feel ready. Luck shows up when you move, when you explore, when you talk to people. As Picasso once said, inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't go out looking for a job, I went out looking for a different life, and in that process, the job just appeared. Today, looking back, I don't think the most important decision was dropping out of college, not even traveling. I think the most important thing was stopping waiting to have all the answers before I started moving. Because many times we think we need clarity first, when in reality, clarity comes after action. If you are watching this feeling lost, confused, without a clear plan, maybe you don't need to have everything figured out. Maybe you just need to do what I did back then. Take the first step, even if you don't know where it will lead you. I'm curious about something. Have you ever felt that the traditional life simply wasn't for you? That you were on the right path, but not the right path for you? If you felt that, tell me in the comments. I love to hear each other's stories and learn from different experiences. If you like this video, I truly appreciate a like. It's free, simple, and a great way to support this project. If you are also interested in learning how to find your own path and question what the world takes for granted, I invite you to subscribe and start building a life that truly feels like yours. Also, if this story resonated with you, if you feel like you're in that strange stage where you don't really know what to do with your life, I have a newsletter where I write about exactly that. It's called The Outsiders Club. Not about quick money, not about miracle hacks, but about how to build a freer, more creative, more aligned life. And to thank you for joining and giving away something I have never shared publicly before, a short piece I wrote called 7 Lessons I Learned While Trying to Escape the Traditional Life. It's a collection of ideas, mistakes, lessons, and uncomfortable truths I discovered while trying to build a different life without having a clear path. It's perfect for those moments when you feel like you don't fit into the conventional world but also don't know exactly where to go. If you are interested, you can find it in the description below. I'm sending you a big hug and thank you so much for being here until the end. See you in the next video.